Hi friends, I'm Joey Shelton, the Dean of the Chapel at Millsaps College in Jackson, Mississippi, and we are now beginning our new editions of Reflections from Yates Chapel for the academic year 2021-2022. And thank you for joining us for this particular reflection. Today, we're remembering September 11th. We are commemorating how our lives changed on that day forever. And many of our students were not even alive on September 11th, 2001, but they know what the aftermath of it is. We've virtually been at war their entire lives. 6 months before the horror of September 11th, 2001, Victoria Lee Erickson and Michelle Lim Jones sent a manuscript to a publisher entitled Surviving Fear, Hope and Justice in a World of Violence. They wrote the book because they believed educated Americans were ignoring the warning signs of destructive forces and that urgent attention to the forces of terror was needed. They wrote, torture and death had been overcome in the resurrection, which is a sign of God's ultimate intentions for human history. That life is the product of our response to the voice of God who calls us to care for the oppressed in history by reversing the processes of degradation and terror. You see, degradation breeds terror. As we remember the lives lost on September 11th, 2001, and the resulting thousands upon thousands of lives lost to degradation and acts of terror and casualties of war and maimed bodies and the countlessly morally injured people made in the very image of God since that fateful day, September 11th, 2001, perhaps we might seek to discover the roots of degradation and terror, and to discover that freedom and faith are produced by small and simple acts of compassion, love, and justice. That our hope is not found in the terror in the end, but in the humanity we discover amidst those lives that have been shaped by it. When Jesus showed his scarred hands and feet, his disciples responded with joy as they remembered the sufferings of the days before, which pointed the way towards redemption. 3 days after Jesus was tortured and crucified, angels stood at the mouth of an empty tomb to announce that Jesus was not there. God had raised up the one who was crucified. Kerygma, the early proclamation, pointed the way. Degradation, terror, and not even death can separate us from the love of God, the God of Noah who abhors violence, the God of Jacob and Esau who calls us to reconcile like these alienated brothers did so long ago just beyond the ford at the Jabbok. After Jacob prayed to God, the God who Jacob knew to be gracious and merciful, and after Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced Jacob and fell on Jacob's neck and kissed Jacob, and they wept together. And Jacob said to Esau, "To see your face is like seeing the face of God, since you have received me with such favor." O Lord, may we be received one to the other as we remember, as we seek what are our next best steps. Oh Lord, may we be received one to the other with such favor, even as you receive us in your mercy and in your grace. Amen.